Let's come to the final part of a chapter of Stephen Hawking's. So, we were told that Stephen Hawking, when he realized that life was too short, probably has very few years left, he decided to pursue his PhD and he poured himself into his work and research. That was the last part that we did. Let's continue. As physical control over his body diminished, he'd be forced to use a wheelchair by 1969. The effects of his disease started to slow down. Over time, however, Hawking's ever expanding career was accompanied by an ever worsening physical state. By the mid 1970s, the Hawking family had taken in one of Hawking's graduate students to help manage his care and work. He could still feed himself and get out of bed, but virtually everything else required assistance. In addition, his speech had become increasingly slurred so that only those who knew him well could understand him. In 1985, he lost his voice for good following her tracheotomy. The resulting situation required 24-hour nursing care for the acclaimed physicist. Very sad. So by 1969, Hawkins completely was confined to a wheelchair. He could move around a little bit, but he needed an assistant throughout. But by now he was a married man, he had children. Okay, his wife, of course, was with him throughout till the end of his life, even his children and grandchildren. But during that time, he needed an assistant throughout. And that is a time when one of his students, remember, he was a teacher also, a professor of mathematics. So during that time, one of his graduate students came forward to help Stephen Hawkins. And very sad that slowly he lost his voice also because he had a problem in breathing. Therefore, they had to make an incision, that is a cut through which wind through the wind pipe so that it could help him to breathe. And that is when, because of that, 24 hours he required nursing. There somebody had to be there 24 hours to help him. Let's continue. It also put in peril Hawkins' ability to do his work. The predicament caught the attention of a California computer programmer who had developed a speaking program that could be directed by head or eye movement. The invention allowed Hawking to select words on a computer screen that were then passed through a speech synthesizer. At the time of its introduction, Hawking, who still had used of his fingers, selected his words with a handheld clicker. Today, with virtually all control of his body gone, Hawking directs the program through a cheek muscle attached to a sensor. It says as time passed, it put Hawking's abilities in peril. In peril meaning in danger. Okay, and this predicament, this problem or this thing was caught. It came in the newspapers, and during that time, one of the computer programmers realized this, and he felt he should do help this great scientist one or the other way. And that's when he developed a different kind of a computer which would be operated through the head or to the eye movement, and that helped Hawkins to a great extent. But by then, Hawking could use his fingers, so he would use his fingers and operate. Slowly, as years passed by, he could, even his fingers, he couldn't move, and finally, his entire body became absolutely stiff. He couldn't move at all, and only through his cheek muscle he could operate the computer. How difficult! Just imagine, class. Just imagine a young man going through this, getting completely confined to a wheelchair, but still fighting all along, still giving the world the theories, still writing books, and still going on in life very bravely. One needs to really take a lot of courage from this great man. Through the program and the help of assistants, Stephen Hawking has continued to write at a prolific rate. His work has included numerous scientific papers, of course, but also information for the non scientific community. Hawking's health, of course, remains a constant concern, a worry that was heightened in 2009 when he failed to appear at a conference in Arizona because of a chest infection. In April, Hawking, who had already announced he was retiring after 30 years from the post of Lucasian Professor of Mathematics at Cambridge, was rushed to the hospital for being what university officials described as gravely ill. It was later announced that he was expected to make a full recovery. So it says Hawkins did not give up. He went on keeping on even writing non-scientific papers. He wrote scientific papers and at a faster rate because he felt he had very few years left in his hand. So the more he could do, the more he wanted to give the world. But of course, Hawking's health also was of great concern. His health was becoming worse as years passed by. And finally, after 30 years of teaching as a mathematics teacher, imagine with that disability also he was teaching. He thought of retiring. And one day he became seriously ill while he was teaching in the college. And everybody in Cambridge said that probably he's become gravely ill. Gravely ill? Seriously ill. But doctors said that probably this was a sign that he was going to make a recovery. Sad enough, it did not happen because on 14th March 2018, Stephen Hawking passed away in UK itself. So this is the sad story of Stephen Hawking, but who will always be remembered for the work that he has given to the entire world. Here you have Stephen Hawking initially using his fingers to operate the computer. He was not that very ill. And later on, if you see the next picture, he's completely ill. By then, he was nearly 70 plus, and he is operating the computer, if you see, with his cheek muscle. So, class, one has to really learn a lot from this great man. So, with this message I end that no matter how much negativity, no matter how much difficulty one has in life, always search for positivity in things because life is too short to keep on complaining. So I end the chapter ends with this. Have a good day. God bless you all.